Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Alright, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose.
Huh? Huh. It's so sad and no one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday we all decided unanimously this man was Master Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle?
I don't care what we're being as long as we're finding the truth. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Luke Atmey was the one who killed Cain Bullard. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
Because he was blackmailing him for him blackmailing Ron. Or something like that. An excellent point! Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive, manifest?
Whoa.
Nick, he's getting his second wind.
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron DeLite, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron DeLite. Isn't that right, Detective?
Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear.
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us to what the defendant's motives were.
They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Oh, man. We'll get him eventually. I, Luke Atmey, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. I don't believe you. Cain Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron DeLite. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. DeLite for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Mask. That is why Mr. DeLite saw it fit to kill Cain Bullard. Truly a tragedy. I want to draw attention to the red diamond thing, but I don't know how I would do that. No.
This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
That part is correct, yes. The one he was blackmailing was not Ron.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
How did Cain find out about Luke, though? It just updated it, so let me look at it. All it updated is that it was written by Bullard. True identity revealed to the world. Come to there on the and bring a fight if you don't. Take the red diamond. See, yeah, that's the red diamond thing. See, that's extremely relevant. But I don't know where I would present that. He decided to investigate. I could say it there. It might be too early to bring that up. But that's like the only thing that I know of that can prove that it wasn't addressed to Ron, because like what red diamond would he be talking about? And I could present it right here. Might as well. I'll press it first. You mean this blackmail letter right here?
It says bring $50,000.
And the handwriting is, without a doubt, the victim's.
There's no mistake, we have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an addressee on this letter anywhere.
An addressee?
This letter was discovered in Ron DeLite's apartment. And Mr. DeLite did show up at the designated place and time. The fact that there is no addressee is irrelevant.
I wonder. What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. DeLite? That's what I've been saying. Whoa, do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter.
Can't believe none of you ever pointed it out. So the whole second paragraph doesn't make any sense if it's addressed to Ron. Go back. Okay. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atmey?
Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright.
When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction.
Contradiction?
I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. You want to go? Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Alright, me and him are going to throw down. Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting evidence and the content of the blackmail letter. Oh. I was hoping it would, like, put the letter on the screen and I could point to the text that is a contradiction. What the hell do I have in my court record? The contradiction is the red diamond. That's referring to Luke. What do I have in my court record about that? I mean, that's a blue diamond. But that doesn't mean anything. To say that Ron had stolen a blue diamond doesn't contradict that he's asking about a red diamond. He'd stolen a bunch of things. Here's his list, and these are all the things that he has stolen, but, you know, I don't know if a red diamond could be part of any of that. I mean, I guess not. But maybe that's what it is. Because, like, the crown, you could think it would have, like, a diamond on it, but they probably don't want you to assume something like that. Being an artifact and a sculpture and a painting, those are all different. The only actual jewel that he stole was the Tear of Emanon, and it was blue. So apparently, I guess they want you to think that the only diamond they could be talking about if he was addressing Ron would be the Tear of Emanon, which is not red. So okay, I could probably either present Kane's list or this. I'll go ahead and present this. That might work out! Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Emanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. Does he not see color through that thing? Maybe he can't see at all. I'm sure he can. Catches that coffee expertly. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. I don't know if he's ever pointed anything out that would imply that he can see. I don't remember. But anyway. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond that you received the other day. Red? Red isn't blue, which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Emanon that Master Mass stole at all. Objection. And your point is, Mr. Trite, yeah, that's what I was saying at first. Like, it's not a very good point, but I guess I'll figure out a way to make it stick. So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite? Like, just because it's not the Tear of Emanon doesn't mean it's not a different red diamond, but I get where he's going with it, and it'll probably work.
That is what you're trying to say, right, Nick?
Yes. He was blackmailing Luke Atmey. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atmey. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You've been personally involved in every single Master-Mass case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel you show off to everybody all the time. I'm seeing it on your finger right now. A jewel. Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Order in the court. Order, I'd say. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that. Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke Atmey. Are you for real? For some reason, it doesn't seem like he would say, "Are you for real?" Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world... He was fucking blackmailing Ron. He was a mask-to-mask accomplice. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atmey's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret, so just what was that identity? Atmey killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atmey wanted to do so desperately keep secret was his identity as... Well, that's definitely not something that he's, keeping secret. He's not that. He is that. So there you go. Luke Atmey was a blackmailer.
Objection.
Let's not bring color into it, though, like Godot said. Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atmey. And Luke Atmey was the one blackmailing Ron DeLite. And Ron DeLite was the one blackmailing... No, it stops there. Are you saying that Atmey was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's even. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atmey. But Ron DeLite was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So did you start to receive blackmail letters starting after this incident? Yes, just a few days after the Tear of Emanon heist. After that, I started getting the plans in the mail. I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Detailed plans? In which case, that would mean that Ron DeLite was actually mask to mask.
That is what we were claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. DeLite steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atmey. Shh, silence! He. Now I see it's all becoming clear.
What is?
When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong?
Why would they put jumping to conclusions on your report card? They did? It's a weird-ass school.
You say that I, Luke Atmey, was blackmailing Ron DeLite. In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Mask to Mask.
Well, yes.
Ron DeLite started receiving plans from his second crime onward, right? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime.
Excuse me. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, better evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atmey know that Ron DeLite was mask to mask?
During the first crime?
Are we saying that he knew during the first crime?
I assumed he found out after the first crime. How could he have known during the first crime?
I'm more interested in finding out how Kane knew about Luke. I mean, Kane was a security company head guy, so maybe it had to do with that. Since Luke had gotten a bunch of plans, maybe that was through Kane's company, and he found out. Battery's low. Gotta charge it. Not surprised. Been playing so much lately, especially yesterday and today. Worn out the 3DS. So anyway, how did Luke know that Ron was mask to mask during the first crime? I mean, he apparently found the thing, but that's not during the first crime. Maybe they don't really mean that literally, but that's what they're saying. What is this? Okay. And then, because this is the picture of the two of them together. And I mean, we already presented this for something else, but would it be this again? What else do we have? Kane's autopsy.
I'll just say this again, because they were working together. I don't see how that means he knew it during the first crime. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief, trying to be the center of attention, and is also a cockface. What do you mean? Literally, look at his fucking nose. I didn't even think of that. It's a double-handed insult. Backhanded, bitch. Take it. It has a picture of you and Ron DeLite in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. Okay, well that's not during. That's after. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron DeLite. Good in irk. What, wasn't he supposed to be Mask to Mask? Not only that, it looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective. Thank you, audience. How dare you expose me like that? Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and I'm also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that? Twitch, twitch. I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Why, you... How dare you even... Oh, it's all one word. Oh, well... well, there that goes. There he goes. I don't even think those are words anymore. What's happening? Well, he's broken. We've broken the man. And he dies. Just had a heart attack and died. On the spot. So, is that it? I want to know how Kane knew. I wanted the details.
It would seem we finally got into the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atmey.
Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atmey.
Did we do it? Oh, fuck off, man. Are you kidding me?
The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my sentence. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
That's not your job.
Excuse me.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Wright.
Where do you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atmey was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't a lordly tailor the night of the murder. But I guess we haven't exactly proven that he was a KB. That's right, that's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull. But there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene.
Yup.
Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security...
I thought we had it. I was thinking that he didn't have enough of a breakdown, because he that freak out, he kind of did it before, even though it was a little more extreme this time. But man, I really did think we had it. Shit.
Order in the court, well, Mr. Wright.
This is it. This is the final round. I've got to prove that Atmey was at Mr. Bullard's office on that night. But, can you really prove that?
That's long enough. Mr. Wright, I want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atmey was at KB Security, and the defense... Can I prove such a thing? I need to take my sweatshirt off. It is getting warm in here. As I do that, let me think. Is there a way that I can prove that Luke Atmey was at KB Security? There's no fingerprints on the button. We still haven't really addressed the bent Shishichito. Since we know there wasn't actually a struggle there, it had to get broken some other way. So what's up with that? Are we gonna address that? We have to, right? How can we prove that he was there? I don't think I can, and yeah, I don't think they're gonna have us about to win and then him object just for me to then answer this question and then immediately prove it. I think we're gonna drag on for a little longer, so I think I'm supposed to say can't.
can't prove it. Just as I thought.
But if we hear more of Detective Atmey's testimony...
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright.
What do you mean?
I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean.
What?
You don't get to make that decision. Have you forgotten? Luke Atmey is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I still think it's so funny that we screwed over Winston Payne when we weren't even the ones facing off against him. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as mask to mask.
No! Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. What? I am the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
I refuse. I won't let it happen.